Hello everyone, I'm Michael Cheek with Mike'sGuitarLessons.com, and what you saw me playing there was the next part we're going to learn. This is the second video for I Want You to Want Me by Cheap Trick, and this is the third part of the song. If you've watched the first video, you realize that, or you heard me say that I'm going to number this song a little bit differently. Instead of saying here's the intro, here's the verse, things like that, I'm going to actually number it so I can give you a sequence of numbers at the end of the lessons and show you exactly what order everything should come in. Okay? Now, we've done already parts 1 and 2 in the first video, and now we're going to start on part 3, and we'll do part 4 if I have time. But what you just saw me play there was part 3. Okay? So, again, these are all power chords here, and we're going to basically start on that A power chord again. Okay, so it's going to be 5th fret on the thick E string, the 7th fret on the A string, and you're going to palm mute this 12 times. Okay, so this may seem a little bit like part 2, but only for a couple of chords. It changes after that. Okay, so 12 times on this power chord. Now after that, lower just your first finger to 4th fret, just like you did in the last part, and palm mute this chord 4 times. Now down to 2nd fret on the E string, 4th fret on the A string, and here's where it starts to change a little bit. You're only going to palm mute this 4 times. So 4. Then you're going to change to basically just go down a string. So 2nd fret on the A string, and 4th fret on the D string. Now palm mute this 4 times. Okay. Now we're moving to 3rd fret on the E string, 5th fret on the A string. Palm mute this 4 times. Okay. Now we're going back up to 5th fret on the E string, 7th fret on the A string. Palm mute this 8 times. Okay, we're switching again. 2nd fret on the A string, 4th fret on the D string. Palm mute this 4 times. Okay, now back to 3rd fret on the E string, 5th fret on the A string. Palm mute this 8 times. And now we're going to go down 1 fret to 2nd fret on the E string, 4th fret on the A string. Palm mute this 8 times. Now that's all the way through part 3. I know that can be kind of tough for you to memorize right at the beginning, so at first, pause this video and keep adding one more chord to it and memorizing it. Or if you want to, just write it down real quick. That can help you too. Whatever works best for you. But let's go through it again together slowly. Okay, starting at the beginning of part 3. I'm going to go a little bit faster this time. Okay, so here we go. 12 times on 5 and 7. Okay. 4 times on 4 and 7. Okay. 4 times on 2 and 4. 4 times on 2 and 4 on the A and the D string this time. Okay. Now 4 times on the 3rd and 5th fret, like that. Now we're going back up to 5 and 7, 8 times. Back over here to the A and the D string, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 4 times. Okay, now back to 3 and 5, 8 times. And then back down 1 fret to 2 and 4, 8 times. Okay, now we're just going to play it. Okay, here we go. Ready, go. It's not that hard, but they do kind of switch the chords a little bit. So until you get them memorized, it can be a little tough to nail that next chord if you're trying to remember what you're supposed to go to there. So having it written down is a good idea. Also, what always helps me if I'm having trouble memorizing is I just start with the very first chord. I play it once, and then I add the very next chord and play those two until I have them memorized. Then I add the third chord and play those until I have them memorized, and keep adding a small section further down the road to memorize it. Okay, that's just how I like to do it. You might have your own ways, but that works well for me. Now, I think we can go ahead and get into part 4 here. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and get into part 4, and let me see where we're at. Okay, I've got my software now exactly where I need to be. Part 4 is this section here. I'm going to let you hear right now on the speakers. Okay, now that was part 4. Now this, I didn't have my guitar turned up because I wanted you to be able to hear the actual song, but I wanted you to kind of see what is being played here. These are still power chords for the most part, but we're throwing a little bit of a riff in here, okay? It's a real common blues type riff though. What it sounds like is this. Okay? Now, that's the whole thing. You just play it 2 times in a row, okay? So let's go ahead and learn how to do that. By the way, part 4 starts right at 1:10 in the song. Now, I'm actually learning, the best recording I had of this song is actually a live version, which is uncommon. So this is, I believe, off the Spanglish CD or album, I believe. So if you can find that, it's a live version there. Now, if you just have the studio version, our times might be a little different. But on mine, it's 1:10 into the song. Okay? So now let's go ahead and learn how to play this. We're going to use open power chords here so that we can have some fingers free for the other notes. Okay? So it's starting off with an A power chord, but instead of it being here, we're going to have open on the A string. And your first finger is going to play 2nd fret on the D string. Okay? Now, everything else is muted. You only play those 2 notes, and we're going to play that chord twice. Okay? And it's actually kind of palm muted. Okay? Now, after you play it twice, then you're going to put your 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the D string and still play open on the A string as well. Okay? And you play that twice. Okay? So, now, you can either use your 3rd finger to try and slide up here, or I like to use my pinky to play 5th fret on the D string and still open on the A string. Okay, so, alright. Now after you've played that, then pick your pinky back up and go back to 4th fret on the D string. Okay? So it's going to go. Alright? Full speed is going to be about like that, okay? So that's your first chord you have to deal with. Now we're going to go to an E power chord, and it's real easy to change to it. Just go to the 2nd fret on the A string, and now E is your open note. We're going to do the exact same thing that we did on the last chord. Okay? And I don't think I have to explain that again, you know, because you kind of saw exactly what we did in the last one. So you just do that on the E power chord, okay? Now, what we're going to do after that is actually go back to the A power chord and redo that. And for our last chord, we're going to go to a D power chord. Now, all we're going to do here is actually just strum this 8 times in a row, palm muted. And there's a couple of ways to play it, but sticking with the open position here, we're going to play 2nd fret on the G string and open on the D string. Okay, just those 2 notes. Okay, just 8 of them in a row, just like that. Once you get to that point, go back to the beginning of part 4 and redo it. So you play it 2 times in a row. Okay, now the first time I didn't play along with the song, but this time I will. Okay, so here's the section we're going to learn, or that we just learned, full speed. Okay, I'll try not to mess this up. Here we go. Okay, now again, there's stuff layered on top of it, but that's the basic rhythm that's going on during that part, and that was part 4. So you've got most of the song here. You can actually get through most of the song with the parts you've learned. So get the parts 1 through 4 memorized, and to where you can play them really easily, and then we're going to be able to actually go through just about the entire song. I'll just have to show you what order to put everything in. So thanks for watching. Good luck.